In my older video called Easy Ice and Snow Bases from last year, I showed how to make icy bases. And I stand behind that UV resin technique for the ice 100%. The snow, that's another story. In November, I finished my new Army of the Year for 2023, right on time. And I wanted to give it a spin on the tabletop. But I had no one to play it against. I was going to have to play it solo. Wanting to focus on the new army, I wanted the other army to be quite simple to play. That means ogres. And while they're not simple, they do have a low model count, they have straightforward rules, and they're fairly tanky, which lets you make mistakes without getting in too much trouble. When I set up my ogres on the table, I realized that this glue paint cornstarch mixture was actually pulling up the UV resin from the edges of the bases. Not on all of them, but on quite a few. So today, I'd like to try to fix this or come up with a solution to keep this from happening. The first thing I'm going to do is not put the UV resin all the way to the edge. And that way there, this snow would be touching directly to the base. Another thing I'm going to try is a new type of paint mixture that doesn't use glue. And recently I've been making another stone horn, so I kind of lightly painted up his base. And I'm working on an iron blaster, so I put some paint on his base. For the stone horn base, I'm going to use the UV resin like I did on all my other bases. But I'm going to keep it away from the edge. I'm going to give it about a ½ centimeter to 1 centimeter gap around the whole edge, so the UV resin's just in the middle. And that way there, if the glue cornstarch mixture starts to pull up, it'll be gripping on the plastic. This other base, I'm going to use a new material that I've got that I'd like to show you. I've got a new army coming, and I've been using this Liquitex gel medium. It looks white, but when it's dry, it dries clear. And I've been using it for water on bases. But since it's a medium, you can add any color to it that you'd like, and it'll dry as that color. So I'm going to add some white to this, and see if that will make some good snow on my UV resin. So let's get some UV resin onto these bases, scratch them up, and then put some paint on them. This is just really cheap, clear LED UV resin that I got at the dollar shop. So I've intentionally put some all the way up to the edge in just a few spots, but most of it I've kept the edges clear of UV resin. And I'm going to put the snow glue mixture all the way from here onto the resin, and here a little bit onto the resin, but I'll leave some ice exposed at the edges so it'll look really nice, I think. Let's do the second one. Sorry, my hands are in the way. Let's see if I can squeeze a little. Oh, my stone horn. It's alright, he's got a 5-up ward. If you're curious about the paint, I just used blue, like a sky blue type of color, and a forest green, and I just dabbed them straight onto the black base. The resin's all hard on both of them, so I'm going to scratch it up with just a file. Don't be afraid to really scratch it up, dig into it, do it random, and try to stay away from patterns. Next up, we're going to put on our paint and our top. If you got any comments or questions, put them down below. I love getting them, and I always read them. The glue paint mix one, it just instantly, it's really flat, it's really easy to work with. This base was done with PVA glue, makes a very flat, matte kind of finish, and I really like the way it comes out. This other one is, the snow's all dry, comes out really matte, I like the way it looks, so I'm going to keep this one. This Liquitex gel medium, it didn't work out the way I was hoping it would work out for snow. And it's odd, it didn't work out because of the reason I actually like this stuff. I've been using it for water on other bases. And I use it there because it stays shiny, but for snow, shiny's not going to work. So I'm not going to use this for snow, but I will keep using it for my water. So what I did is I just took all of it off and gave it a good scrubbing, and I'm going to put some more of my regular old cornstarch, glue, and paint mix onto this guy. This is a bit of a rambling video. I really appreciate it if you've watched this far. It really helps out the logarithm. Logarithm? It really helps the algorithm if people watch to the end of these things. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it so very much. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers every day. We're up to almost 800. I'm really psyched about that. Probably won't hit 1,000 this year, but that's okay. I've gone from 600 to nearly 800. That's all right. That's 25% growth. Stay safe, keep enjoying the hobby, and I'll see you next time. Side note, Liquitex Texture Natural Sand mixed with like a very light tan or light brown works really good for beaches.